Michael Wells, likely replacement out there today.
Yeah, likely replacement. He's had a really good year, both at club rugby and when he's had opportunities for us. And I think on the weekend he got a few more minutes than he'd expected, and certainly played really well. So yeah, it's looking likely that he's going to get his opportunity this week.
Given that he's an open side, I mean, Jared tends to play number 8 pretty well as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. You're talking about Wellesley, or?
I'm talking about Michael playing more an open side, so you put Jared back to number 8.
Yeah, Wellesley's a natural number 8. He's come down from North in Sydney and was playing 6 and 8 up there. Played for the Aussie under-20s at 6, and probably more suited to that role. But he's worked really hard this year, both at training here and at club rugby level on his 7 skills. So I think between the two of them, they'll fill a similar role out on the paddock. They'll probably chop and change in the scrum a little bit, depending on whether it's a centre field scrum or a defensive scrum. But on the field, in multi-phase attack and defence, I think they'll fill a very similar role.
Yeah, and Joe Tomato, just time has run out for him for this week.
Yeah, he looked really good today actually. So every day that he goes out there and trains, he looks much better. But I think just for his head, just giving him an opportunity to play a bit of club rugby this week will put him in a better frame of mind for Super Rugby next week.
You started with Joe at halfback last week and brought Thomas on in the second half. A different situation this week though, isn't it? Because Thomas hasn't got the jet lag or anything like that.
Yeah, Thomas played really well. I think he applied himself quite well through the week. Yeah, obviously came back from Argentina on the Tuesday and we had to play on the Friday. It was very difficult for him, but he played a really good game when he came on, both defensively and in attack. And yeah, this week we're gonna make a change and put Thomas in the starting team. Joey will do a similar role to what he's been doing for the whole season, coming off the bench and adding a little bit of impact and shoring up our defence.
How's Ben doing after last week's disappointment, about 4 minutes before he was forced off there?
Yeah, he's a fairly optimistic sort of a guy. Nothing seems to faze him. Obviously very disappointed. We're in the process of making a decision whether he needs surgery or not. It's a fairly serious injury. So he was disappointed and he received his cap and joked about the fact that it wasn't very long, but and the fact that it'll be very memorable for him. But he'll bounce back. So you know, we'll make sure we get the rehab right. And he's one of those guys. I think he can soldier on through these sorts of injuries.
4 minutes enough to kind of spur him on for next year and give him a bit of a taste?
Yeah, well, he came down for an opportunity, so he's sort of taken a bit of a risk, moved from Brisbane down to Canberra on his own, with no real support network down here, and has made the most of it. Was given an opportunity to start the game, and we'll definitely get another opportunity next year.
But with Joey playing club rugby, there's, I guess, a thought at this time of the year with 2 games to go that, I don't know, is it a risk holding things back, or is that just a sign that you're confident in the guys that you've got there filling in?
Joey, I think if you talk to Joey, he's almost there. His body's fine, but you know, a fairly significant injury for Joey. He hasn't had something like this for a while, and I think just for his mental space, it'd be great to get out and play, you know, 40, 60 minutes of club rugby, whatever he can get through there. 1, for his fitness, and 2, just to prove to himself that his knee is actually right. So we don't really want to test him in Super Rugby where he's a little bit unsure of whether he's going to be right or not. We'd rather do that in club rugby, and I think he can prove to himself that he is right for Super Rugby the following week.
I guess it also says something though about Dargs and Nigel there in terms of the job that they've done with the opportunities they've got.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, even last year those guys had fantastic years, and you know, this year we knew that Henry was going to be out with the Sevens for a fair period of the season. We thought Joey was going to be our number 1 winger on one of the wings, so it was always going to be a battle between these guys to see who was going to get another spot. And now, you know, with Joey being out, they've both had an opportunity to get out there and press, and they've done a really good job. So very similar to last year when they had an opportunity last year, they played really well. This year they're obviously a little bit more experienced. They're playing better footy this year than they did last year as well.
What about the Blues? What do you expect for them? They're kind of one of those unpredictable teams in the comp.
Yeah, I think conditions will probably dictate how they play. So we're expecting a little bit of rain over there, and Eden Park can get a bit windy as well. So a little bit of wind and rain. I think both game styles will suit the conditions. So expect them to kick a little bit more, but bring a very physical game. So what we've seen in the previous games is that they do like their forward play, so maul and scrum. So we've got to step up there and make sure that we're nice and physical in those contests. And then they've got some really dangerous backs. So we've spoken a lot this week about our defence because we know how dangerous they are in attack.